is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
Welcome to the Morgan Man Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Stacy Cole Morgan. Here on the Morgan Man Sports Podcast, we talk Atlanta Falcons news, pre-game predictions, and all other news surrounding the Atlanta Falcons.
Touchdown, Atlanta!
Also on the podcast, we talk Call of Duty League, esports, covering Roster Mania, major predictions, COD champs, player trades, and much more to get you ready for every single CDL weekend.
Scuff goes through, and Scuff snaps, wins the one-on-one in optic with the reverse sweep.
If that sounds good with you, put on your Falcons jersey, grab your gaming headset, and let's get this show started. What is going on, you guys? I'm your host, Stacy Cole Morgan, and you are listening to the Morgan Man Sports Podcast here on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and on the Belly Up Sports YouTube channel. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are talking about the Atlanta Falcons visiting the Carolina Panthers this Sunday, September 21st at 1 p.m. Eastern. And we're going to do a little bit of a recap from Sunday Night Football against the Minnesota Vikings. So without any further delay, let's get straight into today's action. All right, guys, so to get into things right here, the Falcons looked unstoppable this past Sunday night. Like, there's no joke about it. Like, that was probably one of the best performing Falcons games in a very long time since probably our Super Bowl era. And now, yes, we did kick majority of the field goals and only had one touchdown thanks to Tyler Algier, but we held the defense, or we held the opposing offense, Minnesota Vikings, to only 6 points. So far in the season, we've only held opponents to 29 points altogether. 23 coming to the Buccaneers in week 1, and only 6 against the Vikings on Sunday Night Football. So definitely you can't ask for a better scenario right now for this Atlanta Falcons defense, who is ranked second in the NFL. I believe it's just right behind the Los Angeles Rams, if I'm not mistaken. Someone definitely will have to correct me on that. But of course, after the Monday Night Football games were said and done, this is a tweet coming from Mike Conti at MikeConti929 on X. Falcons NFL ranks through week 2. Total offense is 10th. Pass offense is 20th. Rush offense is 4th. Scored offense is 21st. Now, the highlight is the total defense, which is 2nd in the NFL. Pass defense is 2nd. Rush defense is 9th. And score defense is 2nd. So, definitely you're seeing the upgrades and the changes happening right now in week 2. Definitely you saw some highlights in week 1, but week 1 was still kind of like preseason, week 4, whatever, even though it counted, but it's just like preseason extended right there. You're still trying out some things, but at the end of it, it's a loss now and it does count. But week 2, Falcons definitely bounced back big time, 22-6. On prime time in Minnesota against the Vikings. Definitely loved it. Everybody was getting their first career sacks, interceptions, you named it. Parker Romo, 5 for 5. I think the longest was 54 for the night. So definitely there's a 90% chance, according to Raheem Morris, that he is the starting kicker, or field goal kicker, I should say, for the Falcons this Sunday against the Panthers, who definitely should honestly obliterate this Panthers team. Like, the Panthers should only put up 3 points. Looking at stats statistically. But of course, I know that ain't going to be a possible scenario. I mean, I could be wrong. Falcons could just force the Panthers to be in a blowout, for all we know, or this could be just another Falcons game where we have the lead and then we blow it. But look, this is my team at the end of the day. Only true Falcons fans can sort of make fun of this team because it is our team. But if anybody else, you know where to, stick your opinion at. That's where I'm going to leave it at. But let's go in and get into the stats for it, ladies and gentlemen. So the Falcons are again on the road, headed to Charlotte, North Carolina, to face the Carolina Panthers this Sunday, September 21st at 1 p.m. Eastern on Fox for you folks in the Atlanta area right here. The game odds. So the game odds were in favor of the Carolina Panthers at a -1.5. But with their recent performances and the Falcons' recent performance, this has drastically changed in favor of the Atlanta Falcons at a -6 as the current, with a public bet sitting at a 24% for Atlanta and Carolina at a +6 with a 76% public bet. So that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is just phenomenal for the Atlanta Falcons. Obviously, they are going to be favored. Money line is going into Atlanta territory at a -257 with an 83% public bet. Carolina is a +208 with a 17% public bet. Total over and under was 46.5, but now the current as of September 16th is Tuesday. It is a 43.5 -112 with a 93% public bet. Some people are saying this is going to go over 43.5 at a 7% public bet, but I just don't see Raheem Morris really stacking up the points as well. If honestly, looking just at a score in particular, 43.5 divided by 2. So each team would have to score basically 21 points apiece. Me personally, I'm going to sit here and say that the Falcons win this one with a comfortable 28-7. I feel like you get that garbage time touchdown for the Panthers. But other than that, I think the Falcons' D and offense just runs all over the Panthers this Sunday going into that bye week. Or no, we do not have a bye week. We actually got the Commanders coming up next Sunday. So that would definitely be an interesting one and definitely would need to be prepared for the Commanders, because we're going to be at their home territory. But that's for next week's episode, ladies and gentlemen. We're not getting too far ahead of ourselves. So let's get into some of the stats right here. Michael Penix Jr. already 433 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. Now, of course, then they're not going to count his rushing touchdown as well. But Bijan Robinson, 167 yards, 0 touchdowns, 34 attempts. Receiving, Bijan Robinson, 125 yards, 1 touchdown, 9 receptions. League rankings, of course, passing yards on offense. Carolina Panthers has actually got the advantage right here. But we're not going to go over that. We're going to go in this matchup between Falcons offense and Panthers defense. So the Falcons offense is 10th overall, like we've discussed. 21st while passing and 4th while running the ball. Panthers defense is 22nd overall in the National Football League, 9th against the pass and 26th against the run. So definitely establishing this run is going to be a key factor into setting up the passing game for this Falcons offense. And I believe Zach Robinson should know that priority right off the gate. Establish this run, get Bijan the rock as much as possible. So that way the defense is opposed to him getting the rock. And then after that, you open up the passing game for Kyle Pitts, Darnell Mooney, Drake London, anybody on that roster to catch the ball. And then after that, you set up total dominance on offense. Falcons defense versus the Panthers offense. Falcons defense is 2nd overall in the National Football League, 2nd in passing, or against the pass, I should say, and 9th against the run. Panthers offense 22nd as well in the National Football League, 12th while passing the ball, and 27th while running the ball. So, again, defensive line got to step up big time right here because the Panthers are a sneaky good team against the run or while running the ball. But passing, Bryce Young, he's got good accuracy and he's got good awareness. but he's still he's learning everything still. And I feel like this is where this passing defense with Xavier Watts, Jesse Bates, AJ Terrell, those three alone can really make a significant difference in deflected balls and interceptions and make Bryce Young's day just horrible and miserable. I have no fear in the stopping the run game because our D-line is now revamped and we can pretty much stop anything. I mean, that's just going to be plain and simple right in there. So guys, like I said, 28-7, I feel like the Atlanta Falcons can win this one very comfortably. Like so comfortably, like I feel like this is going to be done in the third quarter. And the Panthers are just going to get, garbage time touchdown, fourth quarter with 3 minutes left while the Falcons are up 28 points. Like, I'm not referencing a 28-3 mean here or nothing like that. Like, I truly mean 28-7, Falcons win, improve to 2-1 on the season, and then we go up against the Commanders in week 4. And then that's going to be another ultimate test of a high-powered offense who realistically we should have beat last year. Like, I mean, just a little teaser right here. They are the 14th best offense, while we're the 10th best offense. So there's going to be comparisons right there. But this week has to happen in order for these stats to change. So we'll definitely get into that next week, ladies and gentlemen. But for right now, it is the Carolina Panthers. Again, 28-7 is my final score prediction. Falcons move up to 2-1 on the season. And hopefully we just wait and pray that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers start losing some games. So, but guys, I sure hope you did enjoy it. If you did, make sure to like button wherever you're listening from: iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and on the Belly Up Sports YouTube page. But until then, guys, Stacy Morgan, will catch you all later. Peace.
Thank you for listening to this Belly Up Sports Podcast Network product. Some said we go belly up, so we made it our name, and we're still here.